Rogue Trader, your timing is impeccable. I am ready to discuss the fascinating experiment we have been conducting in the Sector Bionica, and on other decks.
You wanted to discuss the results.
Indeed. After processing all the data, including your invaluable contribution to the outcome of the experiment, my dear colleague and I engaged in a lengthy debate. My cognitive block has been resolved at last. I have come to the conclusion that the only correct decision in the context of this experiment was not to conduct it in the first place. My methods were correct and my intentions good, but I clung to my hypothesis to the last, in blind defiance of Nuncius's arguments and objective reality. I was attempting to wring usefulness out of people like charge from a dying battery. But regardless of how well and long a battery served before, when it is finally depleted, isn't the more rational response to dispose of it and replace it with a new one? Righteousness is a trait of these people, but it is not their primary function. I see that now.
I love that he's willing enough to see the flaw in what he was trying to do, but also see the good in it. Like, he wasn't wrong in thinking that these people deserved more time because they were actually very good people. They were righteous people. They deserved more. They deserved to be able to do more, to give more, to be more. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to preserve that, with wanting to, you know what I mean? But he's saying here, like, righteousness is a trait, but it's not their primary function. And like, so he's learning. And I think that that's great. I think that a character that has something as weird as this kind of experiment, but then can talk to you about what worked and what didn't work in such a logical fashion is so interesting. He's definitely so far like a really well-written companion. Does Nuncius agree?
We have managed to reach a consensus on the root of the problem. The rest can be overlooked. He is not convinced by all my conclusions, but that is no terrible thing. He and I share a common path, but we each have our own methods of comprehending it.
What of the Triosomata?
As you instructed, he is being tended to in the Sector Bionica. His cognitive functions have almost entirely failed, and only the Omnissiah's mercy keeps him from losing all mobility. The Triosomata spends his days bowed in prayer, or so we presume, since he has lost all verbal capacity. He appears to be at peace.
And given the experiment that was done, if he can spend his final days at peace, I feel like all things considered, this went remarkably well. You've learned something valuable, which means this experiment was not in vain.
Precisely. A man chooses what he is made of. Regrets for his past mistakes, or the experience he gained from them. Only those who choose the latter course can attain true wisdom.
I love this too. A man chooses what he is made of. Regrets or experience. And that's true for that. Like, that is such a perfect way to describe living, right? Like, you are either made up of a series of regrets or you're made up of a series of things that happened that you learned from and you gained the wisdom from it, and then you use that to make yourself better, to live a better life, to go forward, whatever it was. Regrets keep you tethered to the past, whereas learning from things, whether good or bad, that happen in your life allow you to move forward and allow you to live. And that's wisdom.
I wish to thank you. You helped me cope with a situation that was beyond my control, and to recognize my mistakes. And that is worth a great deal. I was considering using this implant in an experiment, but I thought it too valuable to waste on the laity. Is accept it as a gift.
So we got using combat stimulants does not inflict negative effect. Ooh. Is Nuncius jealous of your new cyber companion?
A preposterous notion. My cybernetic companion is merely an auxiliary tool. It is far less sophisticated than Nuncius, and lacks his outstanding communication skills and sharp intellect.
Truly, you detect not a whit of jealousy in the Survey Skull's gaze. Okay, I must take my
I
leave.
find our conversation stimulating, and I will look forward to your next visit.
I love him so much. I have a question, though. I never double-checked. Does Pascal have any, I don't think he has anything he says about his companion, like his cyber. The boys! The boy band! Pascal?
The Omniscient knows all.
No.
Comprehends all. May.
Nope, there's nothing. I didn't think so. It makes sense, though, and it kind of does say that they were thinking that you would take him into the Overseer path. Like, it's really nice, actually, that they were prepared. All right. Time to go to Dargonus. Now, here's the interesting thing. They are going to tell you to go here, which you should. Lord help, the warp is going to leave me the frick alone today. Okay, warp travel. Now, they are going to tell you to go to Dargonus itself and not the throne room right here. So I'll show you in a second. Like, it'll make more sense if I try to explain this to you as I'm showing you, as opposed to just merely speaking it out loud. Hold, please. Okay, we're here. So it's going to tell you to go to the Von Valencia's palace, but I think it's easier to go to the throne room. Maybe I'm wrong, but okay, well, let's see. Let me try this. Before I open my mouth, let's do, yeah, because I think that this is going to leave you outside, right? Of like, and you have to walk in. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so this is out here, right? So you actually need to be inside. So I was not wrong. You're welcome. So let me show you. So if you haven't done this yet and you still need to do it, it is quicker to go to the throne room. Because the cogitator that you need is in your bedroom. So go to the throne room because it just puts you inside. Like, because otherwise here, like where we went like this, it kind of dropped you off here. You'd have to walk all the way in and then load in and then go in. You know what I mean? Whereas this, I know we have two loads, load screens here because of like us just experimenting, but normally you would only have this. There wouldn't be a secondary load door. Whereas if you go to like just the palace kind of thing, like the one where it tells you to, you would actually have two load doors. I lied. You gotta go this way. I don't know why. I always think Tess's bedroom's on the other side. I always, for some reason, I thought it was, but I believe it's here. Now, the cogitator. The ancient cogitator before you is a true work of art. Obedient to your commands, the machine spirit awakens and with a soft hum of greeting. You enter identifier Ilaria. The cogitator falls deep in thought, its cooling systems buzzing tensely. After a few minutes of keeping you waiting, the vid screen blinks and it dutifully presents you with a list of several journal entries that have not been accessed in centuries. The 3-star system of the Ceteris Maleficum that have come into my possession in my journeys shall henceforth be known as the Tier of Solar. Ignis Corona Fortifis Porta. These are the new horizons that have never before known humanity's eyes. Rule, and whose rogue Xenos overlords obliged me greatly by having already eliminated each other. The artifact they left behind, a legacy of sorts, are priceless. A blade I took off the desiccated Eldari corpse of one of the Fortis Porta worlds carries immense power within it, and it is but one among a wealth of relics. Attached to the entry are astrographic coordinates. With a dutiful trill, the machine spirit transfers them to your data slate with the utmost diligence. The 32nd Marov? Cord is getting sloppy. He used his Calixtus connections to give me utter dregs, whom he tried to pass off as elite troops. But I can only thank him for his lack of judgment. Those with nothing to lose make the most loyal servants. Once they feel but a modicum of their master's good graces, lowly scum no more, they will be the sword and shield of House von Valencius and faithful service to me and my descendants. So this, an imperial sector located in the Segmentum Obscurus next to the frontier region of the Koronus Expanse. That's where we are for Dark Heresy. Now, while this isn't like a one-to-one connection or anything like that, it is really nice that like this is kind of happening this way where, you know, And we're in the Dark Heresy beta now as this comes out. So if you're watching this like in the far-flung future, we just had the Dark Heresy beta come out like 2-3 weeks ago, something like that. So it's kind of nice to see like the Corda connection, the Calixis connection here from something that is centuries old. And I like that kind of like, it just kind of like dance that everything is happening between the two areas and the dynasties and stuff like that. Like, it's really cool. Open entry titled Crimson Dance of Cain. The power contained within this blade is a most mysterious one. Even Exalt 117's keen mind has failed to comprehend it fully, nor have several Eldari Xenos captured on my orders been able to tell me anything illuminating, save for the weapon's name, Crimson Dance of Cain. I know Cain to be an all-obliterating embodiment of war itself and their abominable belief system. Fitting name for it. And that's it. That's all we got. But now we know where we're going. Please, when I did this on stream, I made a boo-boo. And I went into one of the three, because you have to go technically, I think, search all 3 sectors. And I did a fight in one that I thought I had to do, but in fact, you do not have to do. And I died because I think it's supposed to be a later game fight. And so that was fun. Okay, that was very fun. It wasn't at all. It was awful. God Emperor help me. That was something. I never want to have to do that again. Probably gonna have to at some point, but that day is not today, and I avoid ship fights unless absolutely positively necessary. So I am curious. This, we're gonna do another save. Hello, thank you. Ready for orders. Orders are to the map. I know where we're going. I'm gonna see if I can do this in a much less weird way than I did before. The interesting thing though is we have to go here, and it already has that connection, but let's go here. I went here and then I connected them, and that was a lot to do. Let's go here. Not a lot to do. Like, it wasn't that bad. It's just there isn't anything. Yeah, chart course. So no matter what, you gotta chart this course. Do we go 3? YOLO. Okay, now here. Like, should I have done 2? Probably. You're in your chambers enjoying some long-awaited rest when you're struck by a strange sensation. Something at the level of animal instinct. The doors seem to be locked and no one could have entered your chamber without your knowledge, and yet you are not alone. This is so cool. I hope you enjoyed this. Because I know I sure as heck did. And I'm excited to try a few different responses this time too. Unnatural silence reigns in your chambers. The dust motes hang frozen in the air before you. The candle flames cease to flicker. 2 enforcers who came to check your quarter still stand still as statues, all in stark contrast to the other silhouette, one that is utterly unlike anything else in the room. A massive inhuman figure, forged entirely from dark metal, stands towering in the middle of your chambers. Despite your arrival, the uninvited guest attention seems to have been entirely captured by the trophies on the wall of your study.
Interesting. Quite interesting. The only item of note in this worthless heap. But what is the genesis? The originating cause? A definitive answer would require more thorough research. But the testimony of even a primitive creature will serve. You, where on the ship did this object come from? What do you know of its provenance?
I think we all know who this is. Let me show you the portrait up close and personal. God, it's so good. Wood, by the way. 100% wood. I know it can't happen. I know it'll never happen, but still. 100% wood. What are you? We know what he is, but what are you?
Human. I am addressing you in a language you ought to understand. Answer my question.
The giant lets out a metallic clashing sound, which you somehow know indicates his displeasure. What object?
This is testament to how the ancient enemies of my kind were defeated at the hands of your primitive people. Do you know how this object came to be here and why it occupies a place of such honor?
What I love about this is the way that he slowed down his speech. Do you know? Like he's talking to a child. And I love that. The VA freaking nailed the assignment. Look at some kind of fragment.
I suppose you are rather proud of such crude and flimsy reasoning. A lamentable sight to behold. I can see this is a dead end for further research. Since you have proven useless for my inquiries, I am ending this pointless conversation. Farewell, human.
I had previously picked, it was my predecessors, that option, the first one, and it kind of brought us to the exact same point. A moment later, the strange atmosphere in your chamber dissipates, and your frozen enforcers stir into motion once more. Exchanging bewildered looks, the pair hastily makes the sign of the Aquila and hauntingly mumbles words of greeting, clearly ignorant of what just transpired in these quarters. So this is what he wanted. It's a bizarre fragment hung on the trophy board. The light, smooth surface of the object is dotted with dark spots and crumbling holes. And it's something that was used to defeat his enemies. And isn't this the same one that Earliette was also looking at? Right? Also, by the way, if you are participating in the drops, once again, I would like to remind you that this is where you can pick them up. So if there is a drop campaign going on Twitch, for I think it's like a week, maybe 2. But it's right there where you can pick them up. So if you're curious and you don't know where to get your drops, that is in precise. Luna, did you notice the interesting figure that was in our room? Wait, I didn't hold on while we're here. I should have looked before. There it is. It's his portrait. The majestic portrait painted by a skilled artist greets guests who have been granted permission. That's new. That's new? Was that not? When did we get this? What is it? Sculptor's skill is evident in every little detail. Is that us? That's from, wait, we got is that from, the place for Solomorn, the Ren Fair planet? Is that what I think that is? That actually got brought here? Because it never got finished, right? Oh my god, that's us. Oh, wait, it was there before. I forgot that we were over here. LOL, I haven't checked out my stuff in a while. I was once in service of the Jakari, yes. Mask of Aurora, had by Norris, and then what other trophies? Is that it for trophies right now? Wait, what is this one? Blade of a Jakari Xenos. Yes, during the defense of Dargonis. I personally like to think that is Marzai's sword left behind. And if the man wants it back, you're gonna have to get entry into her bedroom. If you know what I mean. I'm gonna talk to you for a second. Do you have anything new?
You have my complete attention.
That is dangerous. Okay, now. Onward. That was so cool, though. That was such a cool cutscene. Like, I just, having played Dark Heresy already, and like, knowing like what Owlcat is doing, and then seeing it kind of translated to Rogue Trader is insane to me. I mean, we kind of saw some of the cutscene stuff too come into Wrath, which was utterly insane. Like towards the end, like with that last DLC. So this. Lord Captain, our augurs detect a faint emergency signal. The source was traced to a crashed Valkyrie. Its Vox systems are still transmitting the message, transferring the signal now. A stream of hissing crackles out of the Voxcaster. From time to time, an exhausted male voice breaks through the interference, reciting a series of codes. These codes seem familiar. Although the codes being transmitted are centuries out of date, you're able to make sense of them. Astra Militarum. Regiment is requesting assistance and reporting that retreat from their present position is impossible. A prayer for the dying machine spirit grants them the fortitude for one final act. The voice becomes clear. Merov, Penal Legion, the one who requisitioned us, Cebrian von Valencius, is dead. We have no means of calm, not found in orbit. We have been abandoned. God Emperor, have mercy. Claim us before the war finishes us off. The Merov Penal Legion, desperate thugs rounded up from prisons of the high world of Merov and Calixis, and commanded by brutal officer wardens. You've heard tales of these regiments. They were requisitioned by Siberian, a crucial detail. It's another trace of your ancestor. We'll dispatch. The reconnaissance squad soon reports that they have located the crashed shuttle with a barely recognizable Astra Militarum insignia on the hull. After breaching the hull with last cutters, the reconnaissance force discovers the skeleton of a lone pilot. Judging by his injuries, he died long before the crash. The extracted Vox recording is delivered aboard your flagship, where your servants managed to restore it. In it, Private Ruben Kroskovach reports that the 32nd Regiment of the Merov Penal Legion, requisitioned by Siberian, was left without a ship and supplies on GH-89-1717 after the rogue trader's death. The message ends with the phrase, "Atonement for the One." Baffled by the presence of an Astra Militarum Penal Legionnaire on an ancient shuttle, your squad returns to the flagship. One thing is now clear, however. The world where Siberian drew his final breath is close at hand. Yes, it is! It's like right here. Or it's right here. It's one of these two, I think. We'll find out in a second. Hold, please. This place looks so cool, by the way. This. Lord Captain, we have compared our augur readings to the data from Dargonis Cogitator. This world is GH-89-717 mentioned in the diary of Siberian von Valencius. In the archives, this world is flagged as of no further value. What manner of classification is that? As long as the planet retains an atmosphere and at least a scrap of resources, such a write-off is a crime against the dynasty. Why, this is the very place that the unfortunate soul in the shuttle was trying to save. I fear we will find nothing but a graveyard down on the surface. We have detected strange signals on the surface, your ladyship, requesting permission to conduct a targeted augur scan. Big distract the augurs. Lord Captain, there are signs of human activity. Planet is inhabited. Large concentrations of people detected. Human-made structures, too, albeit crude ones. I rescind my words, your ladyship. This world has just risen in value, gained some interesting prospects. Whoever they are, prepare the shuttle for landing. By the time you reach the hangar, the shuttle's already been properly readied. A young pilot offers you a respectful bow and makes a sign of the equivalent greeting. You proceed to the stifling passenger compartment that smells of sacred unguents and leather. The flight down to the planet proceeds as normal. This changes when the pilot announces the atmospheric entry, beckoning your gaze towards the viewport. The shuttle glides through the colossal roots and vines, which swathe the planet in a vast quivering mantle. Spellbound, you watch the movement within the growth before the pilot reports losing Vox contact with the flagship, and then a heavy blow strikes the hull. Attempting an emergency landing, hold fast, your ladyship. God Emperor, have mercy upon us. Yes. This place is so cool. By the way, this has the coolest cutscene I've ever seen, ever. Like, Owlcat literally nailed it. So, first though, we gotta do some stuff. Trust me, it'll be worth it to get there. Your skull feels like it's about to split under the pressure. A heartbeat later, the agony ebbs, leaving behind only a haunting hum. It smothers your mind, stifling all reason, hindering your ability to think. Your gaze falls on the young pilot who survived the crash and stumbled out of the wrecked shuttle after you. A wave of sickening fury suddenly swells within you. He's the one who lost control of the vessel. Oh, thank God we passed. By willpower alone, you pull yourself together. The fury fades, sinking into the depths of your mind, leaving a lingering terror, an urge to flee, but knowledge that such escape is impossible. Did you ever chance to see what attacked us? The pilot speaks through clenched teeth, fighting the urge to shout. Movement on the port side is the last thing I saw, Lord Captain. Something massive, like a tree trunk. It was either thrown at the shuttle or it attacked us. An indigenous organism of such formidable size that it can assault Imperial machinery? This world promises to be a true treasure trove of discoveries. A fine observation, Nuncius. He turns towards his silent companion, whose servo motor emits a phlegmatic buzz. It could indeed be a specimen of either megafauna or megaflora. Research by the Magos biologist has confirmed the existence of flora classified as Periculum machine majoris. Life form of this category poses a serious threat to sacred transport vehicles and armored units. There's a 96.543% probability that such a species inhabits this planet. In the observed case, the probability of more than one species of this threat category exists, standing at 85.6789%. Eogan, it clicks his tongue in irritation, clearly displeased that his colleague was able to provide a more accurate answer. Oh no, this is gonna be my favorite. This dynamic right here, 10 out of 10. Can the shuttle be repaired? He casts a bleak glance at the shuttle. I'm afraid not, Lord Captain. The ship requires recovery and application of Adeptus Mechanicus repair sacraments. Those can only be done aboard the flagship. We need an evacuation. Anyone feel anything odd? A peculiar pattern of acoustic waves. I've never encountered anything like this before. Eogan appears utterly serene and even intrigued as he listens to something. Infrasounds alternating with ultrasound, and so naturally too. These frequencies are inaudible, Rogue Trader, yet they evoke a violent reaction from deep-seated structures of the human brain. I'd like to lay eyes on their source. Peculiar noise, yet one that leaves no psychic trace. I suspect that prolonged exposure could lead to emotional volatility. It'd be wise to monitor one's own state of mind, not given to rash impulses. A strange haze has enveloped me, and the Undying One's whispers are hard to make out. In this land, I must rely solely upon your guidance, Dahlman. I thought it was a result of the impact, like a hum or some kind of high-pitched screeching. It's a struggle to think straight, to keep from losing it. My apologies, your ladyship. The pilot's face is sweating and shaking with tension. The rage on the pilot's face gives way to a look of panic as he realizes how he has just behaved in the presence of a rogue trader. With a trembling hand, he reaches for the Vox augment on his head. After a moment, the man looks at you with hollow eyes. Lord Captain, all the channels are nothing but static. I don't understand why. Everything is functioning perfectly. It's as if something is jamming the frequency. We cannot contact the flagship. According to the charts, there is a settlement nearby. Perhaps the locals will have a more powerful Vox unit? All right, let's go. With your mission, I'll remain here in case the Vox starts working or an evacuation team arrives. Yay! We made it. Into a mysterious planet. It's fine. I'm sure that this is going to be great. Like, we're going to have a great time. Carnivorous flora, ultrasound, and all the different sounds. What could go wrong?